All right, so I'm going to take you through our checkpoint 2, which is word work 2. First, click on the checkpoint. It's going to take you to our PowerPoint presentation slide. So word works, all of them are going to be very similar in that they'll have the same framework. So each word work, you will be working on new words and homophones in the first couple of slides, morphemes and spelling in the middle, and grammar practice in the last few slides. So I'll take you through each slide really quickly. The second slide is dealing with vocabulary, so new words and homophones. So you'll look at the vocabulary word, for instance, gleeful. Then you'll read the sentence. Mrs. Tatalian is gleeful about her new house. She is very happy and excited to be moving. And then based on this sentence, you will write your guess at a definition. Once you have written your guess, then you need to go to Google. So you need to type in Google, and then you need to look up the word and see whether your guess matches up with the actual definition. So exuberantly or triumphantly joyful. If your guess matches up with that definition, then leave it. If it doesn't, make sure that you copy the correct definition down. So that's the first part. Go back to our PowerPoint. For homophones, you'll do the same. In slide 3, again, homophones are words that sound the same but have different meanings. What you'll do is you'll look up this which into Google and go to images and select an image that shows the definition or describes the definition of which, and then you'll look up this which, W-I-T-C-H, and find an image that symbolizes that spelling of the word which, okay? So the goal of this is to be able to identify the different definitions of the homophones, okay, and distinguish between these two words. All right, moving on, our Frayer models, slides 4, 5, and 6. What you need to do is you take this word gleeful, you come up with synonyms, okay? So synonyms are words that are very similar to the word gleeful. Synonyms in general are words that are similar to the whatever word that you are referring to or talking about. So in this case, we're talking about gleeful. So we need to find words that are very similar to gleeful. If you can come up with the words on your own, if you're having trouble, then I recommend you go to thesaurus.com. Once you get to thesaurus.com, you could type in the word gleeful. And then once you hit enter, it will give you lots of synonyms, okay? So cheerful, exuberant, jolly, joyful, overjoyed, pleased, and you can type those in. It will also give antonyms for gleeful, which is the second part of the Frayer model. So sad, sorrowful, unhappy, upset, okay? So then you could type those in as well. So I'm going to get out of that. I'm going back to our PowerPoint. So that's what you're doing. You're coming up with synonyms, antonyms, and then finally, you're writing your own sentence. So you use the word gleeful to write a sentence, okay? So you'll use that word in the sentence you create. Same for appreciative. You'll use this word in the sentence down here, and so on. I care much less about the image, but the image is the last part. So you'll put an image that reminds you of the word gleeful, that reminds you of the word appreciative, and so on. So those are the Frayer models. Here we have morphemes and spelling. So we are changing base words into the suffix to have the suffix ly, okay? But actually, we're looking at the spelling word, and they already have ly. So what we're doing, our job is to identify the base word. So we know that one of the rules is if the word ends in a y, change the final y to an I, and then add the suffix, and the suffix again is ly. So we're looking at the word happily, right? And so we know that there's an I in there. So happily, Happily. We know that if the word ends in a Y, you're going to change the Y to an I. So we know that the base word needs to end in a Y. So it's going to be happy plus ly gives you happily. Same thing for greedy, right? Greedily, greedy plus ly gives you greedily. And then you'll determine the words for the rest of them. Here in slide 8, you'll type the spelling word across the row. So you'll type happily 4 times, greedily 4 times, merrily 4 times. In slide 9, what you'll do is you're changing this base word, greedy, to have the suffix ly.